Hello, hello.
So here we are.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that the stream can hear us yet. I don't think that they can while it's still on this screen.
Right, okay.
Because I think
Well,
it's still just music playing.
Although I think the best way for us to find out is our dearly beloveds will tell us in the chat as soon as they can hear us, and then when we're good to go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
If we
that's the
have
case.
that, yeah. And then once they can start hearing us, and we've got the ball rolling, we can then
Oh,
start
no,
that
they can
business.
hear. Definitely can't hear us.
Excellent.
Okay, yes. Well, there we are.
Very good. Okay, we're on.
Yeah. All right, well, hello, chat. Hello,
Good
hello.
evening.
This is Firewaster versus Dan_H. So, I guess just a quick presentation on the players. Firewaster, aka Gas, aka Guilherme, aka Sexy Brazilian Man, is from Brazil. He's our only Brazilian competitor in this tournament, although Brazil historically has been a pretty strong Super Mario Kart country.
Indeedy.
Yeah. Firewaster is a very strong time trial competitor. He's top 10 in the world in the NTSC version, which is what we're playing here. And he's also held and continues to hold several world records in time trial. However, he's pretty new to Grand Prix. He's only really started getting into Grand Prix runs for this tournament, really. So we'll see how it goes. He
He has many nicknames as well, doesn't he? He is both the coach of SMK.
Yes,
he is also the Floyd Mayweather of SMK because he has the world record for the most numbers of retirements in the history of the entire community.
Yes, he loves his retirements.
He does, but he always somehow comes crawling back to the game. You just cannot leave it abated. He has one more show, just one more time, and look, and here we are.
Yeah. And so one last thing to note about Firewaster before the match starts is that he is a very risky player. His preferred way of playing the game is to go for flaps or fast laps in time trials, and those are just completing a single lap of a single track as fast as you can, and that is essentially the opposite end of the spectrum of SMK.
That's it's like a heart on your sleeve, Coeur de Leon's type of play. It's everything, all or nothing. It definitely isn't in the risk averse play you sometimes do at the World Championships. Instead, he comes once every 6 years and puts everything out there for everyone to see.
Exactly. So you can expect him to be very, very fast, but also to crash really, really hard.
Indeed. It'll be crash and burn in absolute glory. It'll be majesty on the screen.
Yeah.
However, we have Dan double score as well.
Yeah, in the other corner, opposite Floyd Mayweather, we have Dan double_H, aka Dan, aka Mr. Double Underscore, aka
when one underscore is just not enough.
Just not enough.
And finally,
most importantly,
you do it.
Yes, he is the Super Black Bass World Champion. That is, in fact, a video game on the Super Nintendo as well. He loves that game more than Super Mario Kart, and he'll take any opportunity he can to tell you that.
Indeed. And hopefully the chat goes crazy for the idea of the Super Black Bass and seeing pushing the record to the absolute limit. Right, we've got the screens up, haven't we? Up here now.
Yes.
They're both up.
So Firewaster said that he would be right back. So I'm assuming they're not going to start quite yet. So just to talk a little bit more about Dan, he is a very solid player. He's not so much into time trials. He's more of a Grand Prix player, actually. So he's more of a consistent player. He knows more about what Grand Prix is like. He's done marathon runs for SMK in the past. Most recently, he ran Super Mario Kart at the Midwest Speed Fest in 2018. He is also the progenitor of several Super Mario Kart in-jokes, one of which being push-ups. So he has established what is now the community standard of saying that if you miss a zoom start, especially in Grand Prix speedruns, because those are the easiest ones to get, if you miss a zoom start, then you owe 10 push-ups or press-ups, depending on which part of the world you're from.
Absolutely.
And notably, from this Midwest Speedfest run, Dan did the push-ups he owed live on webcam at the marathon at the end of his run. So if you want to see that in action, go check it out. All right. So we've started the actual match procedure. Firewaster, as the low seed, has decided to push back Special Cup. So that will only be played as the 4th cup if needed. And so now we're waiting for Dan's pick of the other 3 cups.
Just so you know, Elefango, I can't see the Twitch chat at the moment with me just in the stream. So if you can lead anything that anyone needs to do for setting up cups and that sort of things, that would be much appreciated.
All right, will do.
Cool.
Dan seems to... Okay. Dan has picked Flower Cup.
Yeah.
And he's apparently picked it specifically for the whale shark. And we'll explain what the whale shark is in a little bit.
That's a new one for me, I think, as well.
Well, then you'll have the pleasure of hearing what it's all about.
I'll learn an extra in-joke in the community, which is just delightful.
Oh yes,
right.
And I feel like I failed to mention that Dan is from the U.S. Because I know that I mentioned that Firewaster's from Brazil, but Dan is from the U.S. So we have an America's match here, but it's North versus South.
North versus South, indeed, and 50 hertz. Or as other certain people in the community call the true mode, but there's an eternal warfare inside the community for which is the superior class.
Yeah, we have the rare privilege of being able to play 2 games in 1, with the NTSC and PAL versions being completely different universes.
Yes, the mechanics, acceleration, gradients for it, turning circles, the tricks that you can do on certain tracks, techniques, histories even, they've got that within the 2 games themselves, and people can have a lot of joy switching in between them, can't they?
Absolutely.
Right, dude, also, you start this off whenever you want.
Yeah, well, we'll wait for the countdown for Dan and Firewaster. I'm not sure how they want to do the countdown.
However they honestly fit. If you can chat into them there to get them started, great. If someone else is doing it, that's fine. You see that and then we'll start. I think Arantes is raring to go there. He seems tentative. He's pressing the buttons.
All right, I'm going to do a quick countdown in chat then. 5,
Excellent.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And we are off.
Much faster than that because Twitch will block my messages.
Right. Do we get this delayed reaction then, where we've declared 3, 2 on our stream go, and then we have to wait until...
It's one of the rare instances where the delay will be obvious, because I said it as I was typing it in chat, but we need to wait another 30 seconds or so for the runners to actually do it.
For them to see it, hear it, sense it. That's brilliant. And here we go. And they're off. Wow. It starts up straight away, doesn't it? That's brilliant, that delay.
Yes. All right. Flower Cup. So we start off with Choco Island 1.
Yep. And the light's on. Go to green. Will they get the boost? And they both got the boost.
Yes. Double zoom start. It's well, it's easiest in this mode, but it's still not super obvious. Ooh, flower hit for Dan. He went for he goes for the very old school line on Choco Island 1, which is in complete contrast. It is a very old school line. It's from the very, very early 2000s. of going right of that to that first mud lake.
And it's a Grand Prix specific strategy.
No, it comes from time trial, but you can use it it's just been adapted to Grand Prix by Dan here.
Right, okay, so you can see like the 2010s strategies that he's putting in his lines there, yeah?
Oh no, even earlier. This is the early 2000s.
Oh wow. So it's
meanwhile,
almost like,
Guillermo was for the first 3 laps before he crashed. He was going for the very new school, the modern line of doing the wall hop.
Yes, I think you need a lot of guts to do that on GT1 tries like this, though. I mean, obviously I imagine you'll be doing it in your streams. I'm not sure
I tried
whether
for
myself.
It did not go well for me.
I see. Yeah, you need nerves of steel, I think, in that respect. I think someone like McNuggets also gives that a go, and I think Jamu does it as well, maybe Molly, but certainly for me, it would just be non-MBT, go straight around as you can.
Yeah, I think most of the higher level players, or the ones that are more comfortable in time trials, will be going for the wall hop in their runs.
Yeah. Right. So GV2 is a good enough start then?
Yeah, we have GV2. So GV2 should be smooth sailing up until lap 4, 3 or 4, when they'll be running into CPU traffic, and that's when it starts to get a bit tricky.
Yes, there's usually some bit of dramatics in lap 4, I think, at times. You're just passing through these players. Look at Aranta's there, Sushoshi's there. Yeah, he's got to do a bit of a weave.
Ooh, that was a tricky position for Koopa.
Wow. Yeah.
Dead stop for Dan.
Yeah.
Got impacted by DK.
I think he's just got a little bit of jitters on there, but I think it should, by the time we get to race for the races, it should be pretty much fine.
Yeah, good time by Guillermo.
Definitely,
still
I would love a time
by,
like that.
By Dan.
Yes. Oh, you take. If I'm honest, at my level, take sub 1 minute any time on a stream like that. 105 even sometimes if you do the odd fall off, but yeah.
I think that Dan can reasonably expect to be under the minute more often than not.
Yeah.
On GV2.
Yeah, you just got to pass through him on the lap 4. Get around there. Don't do the crash. Don't do any crazy stuff with hopping the wood.
All right, I'm really hoping that at least one of these 2 players will get a mushroom on this track.
Yeah.
I want them to go for the
Moses mushroom.
Moses mushroom. Yes, that is brand new terminology from one of our viewers in chat for the earlier match.
Absolute genius suggestion we have in the Twitch.
It's fantastic.
So anyone in the Twitch, by all means, bring ideas to this universe. It's cool.
I think we'll be adopting that one. I really like the Moses mushroom.
Yeah. You can hear the drum roll now. Everyone's saying, "Will they get a mushroom? Will they get a mushroom?" But you might see it sometime this evening, whether it's another commentator, hopefully they identified that there is an opportunity for a Moses mushroom.
Yeah, we should be getting at least 3 flower cups this evening. Because I can't imagine anyone pushing flower cup back. So that'll give us an ample opportunity to see a mushroom.
Yep. How many players do you think can do the Moses mushroom now in the community? Maybe like 20, 30? None of those new players really do it. I mean, Drew does it. He's really cool for doing that. I think Molly can, but I think otherwise it's then the Jays and the Paris goes who do it.
Though the thing is, it's not a trick that you can do in PAL. So I actually think that the number of people who would go for it is quite reduced, because it needs to be people who have at least some NTSC experience and have practice going for it.
Right.
All right, so here is, if you remember earlier, I mentioned that Dan picked Flower Cup because he wanted to play on the Whale Shark of SMK. So,
what's that mean?
Out of many things that Dan and Firewaster have brought to this community, one of them is the Whale Shark. So there was an interview, or I think it was commentary for. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little mixed up here, but at some point in time, there was a question, and I believe it was Dan who posed this question to Firewaster.
Right.
And the question was, it must have been. I'm getting my getting confused here. I'm sorry, I forget the names. Dan, please forgive me. I know you're going to get mad at me for getting this wrong. But either way, the question was, if BC2...
After commentary banter.
Yes, if BC2, so this track, were a fish, what kind of fish would it be? And the answer given was whale shark.
Is Dan a smooth operator on this track, then?
Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. The thing is, this is the longest track in the game. And because it's so long, there's ample time for things to go wrong. And especially in NTSC, because the cornering is very awkward.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, this corner that Guillermo is going to... Oh, let's see him get the feather. This is fantastic. Okay. No, he's not going for it. Guillermo, I understand. Oh, no, he's going for the... What? Oh, my... What a madman.
Wow.
Oh, he did it!
What was that?
Did it!
What was that? It was insane! What a skill. That was epic.
Wow,
we have to clip that stuff. That'll be a fantastic moment.
I am amazed. Guillermo, hats off to you. I thought that you were too... No, I thought he was too focused on the fact that this is a close match to go for the finish line feather. No, but instead, he decided to show off an item trick that I have not seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, he did a long boosting, and look at me. Ta-da!
I honestly did not expect to see that trick this tournament.
No. You remember the little photo that we have of Arantes sitting there proud with his world record pizza? I can just see his face right now when he plays this back and he sees, wow, yes, I just did that crazy stunt on live. Is that actually brought him into the lead?
Yeah, well, it definitely gave him more time over Dan, yeah.
Yeah, where are we at now, right? So that's lap 3.
Yeah, so he had about a 6-second lead going into Mario Circuit 3.
Yeah, he must be about 7. Ooh, those are not. Maybe 6 seconds.
So, unless he dead stops a couple times,
he's got this cup.
Winning this cup, yeah. And most of that will be from the feather trick he pulled off, because that's worth easily 5 seconds.
Yeah, that was like a strategic, in some ways madness, but in some ways genius at the same time. What he just did there, because it's if he holds his nerve now, it's the winning move of that cup, which makes you realise how high the standards is in this actual cup. You know, the tightness, the margins. You know, that's the defining move of this cup. It's pretty cool. Dan's done really well as well. They just don't miss. Right, so Guillermo's got it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so Dan makes up about 3.5 seconds on MC3, but it's not enough.
No.
To close the gap created by Firewaster's feather.
Yeah. Have you caught the time? I know Firewaster's just caught the stop time late, but I presume in the chat someone's mentioned the rough time where it went over, yeah?
No one's called it out, but it was about an 8:35, I want to say.
8:35, right, okay, yeah. So Rantis has that one.
Alright, so Dan is now up 1-0. I need to do that. One moment. Sorry, did I say
Dan's
Dan?
Up.
No.
Yeah, Guillermo. Firewaster's up 1-0, yeah.
Is up 1-0. There we go.
Happy days.
And so now it is Dan's turn to pick between Mushroom and Star, because I believe the ban was special.
Yep. Did they declare special? Right. So the reset, what are they choosing for the next cup then? And we can get that reset. Hopefully. So they're calibrating the cups now, aren't they, to allow that instant startup?
Alright, so the second cup will be Mushroom.
Mushroom cup, right. So is Dan going to give this... He doesn't need to, he's first going to select... Well, he doesn't need to select there. He'll cash it in, reset it, then he'll be back to the menu when they can call the start, yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
If we have someone in chat who can coordinate that would be great.
Yeah, once they're all set up, I'll do another chat countdown.
Yeah, and then we'll have our little 30 seconds of filler.
I suppose I'll call it out. No, I won't say it on audio this time because there's enough of a delay. That's not really worth it.
It's the same effect. We need 30 seconds to just how the stream cashes in and the pace. So I suppose when we call 3, 2, 1, go, and just to hope that they start, we'll just then do a little filler.
They're both ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this countdown.
Okay. So when they hear you, or are you typing it?
I'm typing it.
Excellent. Okay.
All right, so the countdown's done. It's 1-0 to Guillermo. I expect Mushroom Cup to be decided on items. We'll see. Maybe
I think someone might get a mini crash. You think no one will crash?
No, there'll definitely be crashes. But I think maybe like a feather on BC1 might be the decider.
Okay. Yeah, a BC1 feather, which would save what, 6 seconds, 7 seconds?
It depends which one they go for.
Yes.
There's
well,
there's the regular PAL one, which requires a long boost setup.
Yeah.
And then there's the big feather at the first corner.
Got you. Right, off we go.
Yeah.
MC1, everyone's seen this before. Go.
So the goal on MC1 is sub 50. Both of these runners are more than capable of getting that time.
Which is an incredible time, actually.
it's very solid, but that is the goal for a match like this.
Yep, because the stakes are high, actually. Yeah, it's a really good standard competition of flying.
Yeah. So these two, Mushroom for Firewaster, that's good. He'll get to show off the long boost on the next lap.
Yeah.
So after the items here, he's going to veer off into the sand on the right, and then shroom into the wall.
Yep.
Get an extended boost that'll last him all the way to the items.
Excellent. Dan's got as well.
Yes, and immediately he does it immediately. Ooh, that's
he hasn't got as much speed. What happened with that? Is that just the contact time against the wall?
I think he fired the shroom too early, so starting to run out by the time he hit the wall.
Right, okay.
All right, but...
800ths of a second!
So close.
4 frames? 4 frames in NTSC?
Yeah. Yep. Gas messed up his menuing again, which is why he's more than 4 frames behind.
This would be quite funny if we could then put that in the WhatsApp group, that everyone needs to start training their frame maneuvers rather than the actual karting. It's all about the frame maneuvers.
Yes. But that was a great race. Yeah, I said we got to aim for sub 50. Oh, and a shroom from Dan. Okay, I want to see if Dan goes for the wall hop. He might not because it's very risky in a match like this to go for it.
And he can't see DM streams, so he hasn't seen how crazy Brady's been. So and Dan's gone for a safe one.
It makes sense in the context of a match like this. Because the DP1, so on all of the donut planes, you can do a wall hop or a Moses shroom with a mushroom. However, the donut planes 1 Moses shroom is the hardest of the 3.
Is it? Okay. So to walk on water, to do it on DP1, it's the hardest art form.
Yeah. So the easiest one is DP3, because all you have to do is line your card up correctly, and you just fire the shroom, and it'll auto bounce you over the wall. The DP2 one is in between, where you have to time your jump to bounce over the water, but it has it's fairly lenient, and the DP1 is very finicky.
Was the first recorded footage of that one? Was it the Exotic versus Duff game? That was
I have no idea.
8 or 9 years ago. I think
when that was first.
From there. Yeah, from a while back.
But these tricks have been known for quite some time, but implementing them in matches like this is a very different beast.
Oh yeah, this is the highest stakes in karting terms, apart from CDM.
Yes. And the ASMKC, the American Championships, which will be happening in less than a month. It'll be the weekend of March 13, 14, I believe, are the exact dates. 14, 15. March 14, 15 are the American Super Mario Kart Championships, happening in Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And, if you're still interested in signing up for those, you still can. Registration's still open. You can find information on that at twitter.com/official ASMKC.
Yeah. That would be incredible, actually, if there was
it'll
a
be
new
great
player.
fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, to give the idea of the scale and the passion of this game, how many players are flying into America for that championships? How many from Europe or from South America?
Well, the exact numbers are not
Or
known
not?
to me because
But
we don't have a public entrant list as of yet. But to my
what about the
knowledge,
yeah,
there are at least, I want to say, at least 4 or 5 confirmed attendees from outside of the US.
yep,
Meanwhile, Dan has taken he took a plunge at the platform jump,
yeah.
which cost him more time, and Guillermo gets a bit more of a lead, but now he owes push-ups because
Oh, he does.
he failed his zoom start big time.
Is it the fine comes from not hitting the zoom, or is if you get the blowout, the exhaust blowout?
Either one. If you do not get the zoom start, either because you started holding too early and you got the blowout, or because you started holding too late and you just missed it, you owe push-ups.
That's brutal. I play Jamu. I mean, at the moment, I'm happy for like 6 boosts. Does that mean I'm owing 140 push-ups every single evening session for failing
Ooh, that's not good.
on the karting community terms?
All right, let's take a look at Dan's screen. Yes, as he approaches his first corner. Should be going for it here. Yes, yeah. Very nice, beautiful.
That's the hard foot.
Very clean.
That's the one that saves more. That's the one that saves more, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. You'll see at the splits at the end of the lap. You'll see how much it saves.
Yeah. You would imagine what, 10 seconds?
That's yeah, about that. Maybe a little bit less.
About that. So that could be the defining. At the standard that we're seeing, that could be the defining move, the RNG of the feather.
It could be. I mean, he's taken the lead by quite a bit. I mean, Guillermo has also had some trouble with the thwomps, which are the biggest obstacle in Mushroom Cup by quite some margin. So here, check the splits. You'll see a typical lap.
7 seconds.
Yeah, easily 7 seconds.
7 seconds, which is...
And it has the added benefit that you dodge multiple thwomps. So there are a lot of thwomps that you just won't crash in by landing that move because you avoid them completely. And also you can avoid quite a bit of CPU traffic. So those are secondary factors that make moves like that one very beneficial to a player. And 10 push-ups for Dan.
Yes. I'm completely engaged in this game now. This is awesome. How can someone make a comeback from something like that? If they lose 7 seconds. Oh wow, is it multiple LBs? Is that what he's going for? Is he going for the long boost to try and catch up?
He's going for long boosts. I mean, he kind of has to. I expect him to know how far behind he is, even with the 30-second delay.
Right.
Guillermo is also going for long boosts, but I think he has missed 2 at this point.
It's interesting seeing the tactics evolve for this, actually. When I was doing the demo before, I wasn't using any of the commentary sounds to see where things are at or what's needed on timings and so forth. So it makes you think as well, like at this standard where almost people don't crash, like with the CDM formats, we play enough games that the round robins, the different levels equal out. But this is a really tight tournament. Because the limited string time and the limited availability time people have got. But it's there, the pressure's on. But it almost feels like it's like
Dan is taking the lead. Dan's gonna win this. Yeah. Dan mounted a comeback.
Done it. Wow.
Oh, sorry. What am I saying? He mounted a comeback. The feather won him the cup.
Yeah, the strategic move of delivering that feather under pressure is what did it. And it shows that at this level, it's tiny margins, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you can see that Firewaster was going for the long boost to catch up.
Yeah.
But even despite having missed several, he was 6 seconds faster than Dan on MC2. So had he landed, had he gotten all his
long boosts,
he could have gotten a sub-minute.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He could have won this cup had he succeeded on all those long boosts. It would have been enough.
That shows you like the next tier of what people are going to be trying to do, isn't it? I think almost that strat, whilst it's risky, obviously if someone does a crash and they crash and burn, they lose 6 seconds from being full static, which I presume is the same in NTSC as PAL, yeah? But it's such tiny margins, isn't it? They've done the one hit,
Yeah.
Or, if he has the moments of genius like that with the LBs, then it makes the difference. It's really, really interesting to see. What's the next one then? Startup.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for Dan to confirm that he's ready, and I'll be doing the countdown for Star Cup.
Yeah, if you do that one again.
Oh, of course. Yes. I am. I'm terribly sorry. I am confusing myself. I gave the point. I was very insistent on to Firewaster.
Okay. Right. That shows you how engaged we are, how excitable we are at this point in time. Okay, so Dan's there.
I'm too invested in the commentary.
Yeah, indeed. How do you? Have you done the start? Have you done this?
No, they're ready. They're both ready now, so I'm going to do the countdown.
Yeah, you do the countdown, then I'm going to mention something too. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. You can start talking now. It's good.
Okay, cool. I suppose what I want to know, just explain to the viewers, how long have you had this type of tournament in mind for between yourself and our illustrious IASMK president, with the plans of getting this started off, seeing the success of people doing it at Mario Kart 64, and then deciding to do something for SMK. How long has it been in your mind for creatively?
So, personally, the idea of hosting some kind of online tournament for SMK has been around for a long time. So, years ago, we had regular online SMK tournaments via a website called SNESOT, or SNES Online Tournaments.
Yes.
And those lasted for several years throughout the 2010s. Huge shout out to Zot, or Zotic, for making that website, running it for several years, and allowing us to have all these tournaments. Yeah.
And Scoob as well.
And Scoob, yes. So a lot of the two-player prowess of the current top players comes from practice on SNESOT. And so those were not speedrunning tournaments. Those were online net play tournaments via
private games, cash game. Yeah, private games.
Yes. So this is a different format from those, but that's part of where the idea came from for this tournament.
It makes you realize.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. The spirit of the community is really there with that idea where to actually get to this level that the viewers are seeing, people have had to sort out each other, find each other, train on the sites, feel the championships, and and play, see the level of strategies, and it's evolved over so many years, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And so, unfortunately, that site shut down a few years ago.
In a tragic episode. Yeah,
yes.
Very bad.
And we have not had an online tournament of any kind for SMK since then.
Until now.
However, we continue to have our annual championship. So we have the World Championships that happen in Europe, so either France or Netherlands, every August. And then as of last March, there is now also the American Super Mario Kart Championships, which I mentioned earlier, which also double as the NTSC World Championships, whereas what I referred to prior in August, those are the PAL World Championships. So we have those running. And now I personally felt that there was enough activity and enthusiasm in the community, especially with newer members who never got to experience that time period with SNESOT. I felt that really now is the time to push for something like this within the community, and also as an opportunity to bring even more people into the fold and join our community, join the fun.
Yes, indeed.
So that was also a big part of the inspiration for why we went for this format versus other options we had.
Yeah, I suppose in the future there may be the option of the two-player recharge for the odd few things, but for the meantime, just to show a bit of razzmatazz, some really good gameplay, fast-paced. The NTSC. It's not a Love Cup in some ways for in a while. Until obviously last year's Champions Monroe, it's always been seen as not played as much as CDM, but actually it's great. You have the different modes. It's compatible. People can use this now. It matches what people are using with the Switches as well. Whilst we use the PAL for the locality because it's been in France for many years, that format isn't as well supported on other types of most of the repackages of the game, shall we say. But actually, NTSC does, it propagates well, and it's just great to see that the fastest mode of the game, the one that allows the most tricks to be done, the most creativity to be shown on GP, it's there for everyone to see, which is great.
Absolutely. I'd like to get back just for a brief moment, or maybe for more than a brief moment, to the match itself. So Guillermo had a fantastic CI2. He got the feather, executed it beautifully. I do want to mention to someone in chat, because I see many people in chat expressing their surprise and amazement at that skip. So that feather on CI2 is by far the most efficient item trick to learn in the game in terms of risk reward. So it's very easy to set up. You just need to drive towards that wall and fire the feather to hop over it, and it saves a lot of time. So especially, because CI2 is a very tricky track to drive, but it saves multiple seconds, which for SMK is huge. In addition to that, I also want to respond to the fact that someone mentioned that it was a very efficient feather. And I would just like to mention, without wanting to throw any shade whatsoever at Firewaster, that his approach to that particular trick was extremely safe. It makes a lot of sense for a match like this, but I think it's also worth pointing out that particular trick. Ooh, this is tough.
Yeah, he's in a real predicament here.
Oh, he picked up a coin just in time for the item hit.
Yeah.
So that particular feather, just to wrap up that thought there, can be done extremely aggressively to optimize the trick and get a sub 4 second lap if you do everything right.
Yes.
But back to BC3, which is the toughest track in Grand Prix. Although the US version, as mentioned in the previous match,
much more forgiving. This would be horrendous to see in PAL. It would be tears.
When Dan got a concrete drown.
Oh no, Arantes is back down.
No more.
Back no coins.
Oh, this is terrible.
Oh, how's he going to handle it? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where they're
Dan is also at 0 coins. Okay, he's picked up a couple.
Are the two Titans going to get cancelled out? Is this going to be a new meme for the community? We don't know. He's in 5th. No, he should hold us. Okay, here we go. Lap 4. Oh, 5 coins.
Yeah.
He's calmed down. That was. Oh no, he's in the.
No, another concrete drown with a little left tap from the CPU.
Oh, Gary loves the word
spin out for Dan getting trolled by the Koopa rebounding off the wall and back into him, taking multiple coins. Oh, this is going to be a tight fight to not rank out. Guillermo should be okay.
No, he's sunk.
No, he's sunk.
And he's down the coins.
He's at 0.
This is the agony of SMK, isn't it? This shows the agonies under pressure. He's coming there now. Will the Thwomp OG?
Oh, yeah, he had to release gas there and brake even.
He's nervous. He's nervous.
Oh, okay, he's safe. Okay.
Come on, Dan.
All right, Dan.
Oh, no, Dan!
No, Dan!
Oh, no. That TT lap 5 feeling. Oh, no.
Oh, I think Dan's done. No, he's done. It's over for Dan. Yeah, he gave up.
It's forfeit.
So he's going to be immediately... No, he forfeits.
Yeah, he forfeits the cut.
Yeah, so Firewaster will finish, just to confirm.
Yeah. This is the... What do you call it? Lap of honor. Lap of honor for this cup. It's so razor thin, isn't it? Like, we know the implications, though the viewers don't necessarily know it instantly, but all of a sudden you do that, you do the retry, the top players, no, Arantes is not going to...
Now, what I find kind of interesting is Guillermo was very close to ranking out as well.
Yeah.
So, what if Guillermo had also ranked out and Dan had given up? Because Dan did not have time to confirm that Guillermo had made it, I'm pretty sure.
No, it's a belief system, isn't it? You didn't know, that BC3 will be quite a famous BC3, I think. That's going to be clipped, it's going to be shown, it's going to be, wow.
So I think it's worth
shouldn't have really given up. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that it's completely understandable that Dan quit out after that. But it's also a strategic mistake. Okay, in terms of tactics, he still had a shot of winning that cup, whether he knew it or not.
Yeah, he'll look back and think, okay, he thinks our answer is this or that's. No, it's really subtle. They both had an absolute mare. So actually, what we're seeing here in live footage played in front of a commentator crowd is that pain that we see in TT where we think, okay, we choked, we got nerves, it's not showing. It's happening here in the GP, even though they are some of the very best players around. So that's happened. And Dan shouldn't think that, just because it happened, it's a big deal. It can happen to anyone. It would nearly happen to Orantes. And so, yeah, I'd say certainly for the next cup, definitely do not give up in that respect, because it's really tight, whether you're using an item move or you're just getting a little bit trolled. You've got to have your wits about you,
Yeah. It's also worth noting that Guillermo got a huge advantage in that via RNG, because he got a feather, aka in the Dan _H lexicon, a tickler nanner on CI2, which is extremely powerful, as you've seen and as has been mentioned.
Yeah.
So special cup.
Okay, so Guillaume is setting up there. He is ready.
It's also worth noting that because Guillermo is up 2-1, if this goes to a game 5, he will have the advantage, because he will get to pick one of 3 cups for the final match. All right, they are both ready. Yeah, Dan, don't forget to reset your timer. I'm going to assume that by the time you hear this and get through, you're ready. So, okay, on go.
Is that an insight? It makes me realize as well that because, for the commentary's sake, we're talking about people's form, the sharpness, the nerves, and so forth. I do realize when they're racing, as much as it is really tough to try and play this game with a commentary feed in your ears, I think certainly hearing about the form of the other player, how they're doing, are they nervous, are they feeling really smooth? I think at the high levels in this tournament, we're going to see people going for certain types of selections of cups, aren't we? So they might go for Mushroom Cup if they feel like they're going really smooth or fine, or they might go for, or maybe if they're less confident, they might go for Mushroom Cup, and they might otherwise go for Star Cup if they want to try and cancel the other person out.
Yeah, there's definitely some amount of strategy involved in the order in which you want to play cup, but ultimately you end up playing all the cups unless it's a wash, unless it's a 3-0. So the amount of strategy you can really have is somewhat limited, but for individual tracks, you can definitely kind of pick and choose depending on which options the game give you. You need to improvise a lot, and that's already the case for a Grand Prix under any circumstances. But I feel like that this match format adds quite a bit of decision making on the fly for players.
Yep.
All right, so the start of Special Cup between this track DP3 and the next track KB2 are notorious casual player killers. And I say casual player killers, but it's not just for casuals.
Scrubload killers as well. Yeah.
Yes, it's also pro player killers when things go wrong. Because the CPUs go a lot faster than they have any right to on both this track and the next track. And it's very easy to rank out. Or in tournament matches when you're playing 2-player 1v1, it's very easy to lose points by dropping behind a CPU or 2.
114 there, outstanding 5 GM there. 114 in this second, really good. Dan's 125 been more with that as well, really good score.
Chris, your mic is struggling a little bit.
Is it? Okay, my apologies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think might be back to normal now, but as you were talking about Guillermo's 114, you were going a bit robot.
Okay.
All right, so KB2. Let's see how it goes. KB2 is so hard. In NTSC GP especially, it's extremely difficult to drive this track cleanly.
Yeah, because the way that they want to try and do it is to boost straight over the water. They have to charge the boost there, release now, get the right line, carry on. Really hard to do. Really, really bad track.
And Dan missed the zoom start, so not only does he owe push-ups, but this is also the worst track in the game to miss the start boost on, because the CPUs are very fast, faster than they have any right to be because they just ignore the off-road.
Yeah.
The feather is decent. It allows them to catch up some ground.
This is some imperious form by Guillaume, but look, I mean, Dan's
I guess
there. He's in first place. Why didn't he long boost? Why didn't he
probably
long
wants
boost?
safety. I think he just doesn't want to risk ranking out.
I suppose it does go much wider. 54 from Guillaume. It goes much wider in this format, doesn't it? It goes nearer to the waterline if you don't get it perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, didn't get the boost there. To be fair, 102, that's a pretty solid time. 103, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
At the top level,
it's shaky.
It's okay. As a scrub lord myself, I'd be delighted with that time for yourselves. If you're getting a, I suppose, regular one-shot 55s, then I suppose, maybe it's not the same. Especially, we're only now are we seeing the impact of this. On a cup-by-cup level, just these tiny little mistakes that are nothing for most people, but they're deciding the whole cup, aren't they?
Yeah. So this is GV3, one of I would say one of the most enjoyable tracks in Grand Prix. I also want to point out, because this is a Dan _H match, I feel it's very important to mention that the platform jump, which is the hop over the void that they're doing after the first turn of the track, is the easiest platform jump in the game. This is very important for Dan. He's infamous for saying this over and over again and chastising people who miss it. So we'll see if he gets it 5 out of 5, as he should.
What do you think about?
Guillaume confirms 5 out of 5.
Yeah. What do you think about Guillaume not hitting the side for the extra boost, for the extra speed? Do you think he just thinks he doesn't need it, and so it's fine?
It's risky. He probably just wants to play it safe. He may know that Dan struggled very hard on KB2 especially.
Yeah. Makes you realise when we get some of the absolute Goliaths of the game, how tight this is going to be. Like whether a move like that type of zip boost on the GD3 is going to make the difference, whether they have the courage to be able to deliver it, and that might make the tiny bit of difference in the cup. It
definitely could, but it's also worth noting that in Grand Prix, there are all these really cool tricks and strats that you can go for, especially given the opportunity by the kart gods who give and take away, especially when it comes to items and CPU trolling. But really, the most important aspect, and the one that is very undervalued, I think, is simply not crashing. I say really that as Dan manages to schnanner, which is self-nanner.
Arantes is in the water. He's Michael Phelps.
He has Michael Phelps. So I'd like to applaud Dan for...
He's done it. He's gone static again. He's losing time here. Wow. This could get really close.
I think it's
still...
okay.
Yeah. That solves it.
Yeah. So as I was saying, one of the most important aspects of Grand Prix, I mean, this is true for Super Mario Kart in general, but especially in Grand Prix, it tends to get overshadowed by the cool item tricks you can do. Just driving cleanly and not crashing is so valuable, because it's very, very hard to not crash in this game.
Indeed, and it's a show of nerves as well. These people might be doing 9 times out of 10 on their own streams, but once you put it into this format with a few hundred people watching, then you can see these little jitters coming up, can't you?
Yeah.
Here we go, right, Rainbow Road.
Yeah, sorry. Even under the best of circumstances, driving clean can be very tough. But there's definitely some added pressure in this case.
Yeah, you're seeing these little flicks out in the form, little pieces like where the driving lines, the consistency, how they do it, and then all of a sudden that little movement,
Yeah. And Grand Prix speedrunning may not seem like it at first glance, or when you're thinking about it, and it may not. But there's a lot of improv involved, because you're never quite at the same point of the track at the same point in time, and there are some small RNG factors, and everything, as Chris has been saying, as Yorkshire has been saying, everything balances on such a fine line in this game when you're playing at high level, that it's like chaos theory, right? Where the smallest perturbation has huge ramifications down the line.
Yeah, like they're talking huge little movements to boost. Yeah.
You need to be super sharp, super on point for everything to go well and not crash.
But if the heart's suddenly beating at 160 beats a minute or 130 rather than normal, like at the end of a Super Mario Brothers 1 stream and the heart's pounding, it's much harder to try and deliver that over a few minutes, isn't it?
All right, can Dan get a feather? No, he missed the item. Oh, is this a comeback? Oh, it might be.
Oh.
Could be.
He's got the pace, he has the pace, speed. Oh, he's trying to get on the corner. Oh, what's it going to be?
Close.
I don't know.
I think Dan won it because Firewaster's stream was about a second ahead. I was looking at the timers. I'm pretty sure that Firewaster got an 8:15 and Dan got an 8:14. And he made the comeback.
Wow, it's incredible. What a race. What a tournament. What? Can someone confirm in the chat?
I don't think it was a tie, guys. I think Dan got an 8:14.
Can someone do a clip arena? Wow, we're actually getting almost like a video referee.
I would appreciate if someone in chat would verify with the VOD, but I am 90% certain that Dan won that by a second.
Yeah.
Then no, it's not about the when they cross the line on the screen. You have to check the timers. All right, let's. You know what? We're gonna do a quick break here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up the VOD. Yes. All right. Okay, everyone in chat. Chat is all agreeing to this. I saw it as I was viewing the stream.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna make it an executive decision as tournament admin. Dan won that cup, and we've got confirmation in chat from someone who actually went back and checked it. All right, It's 2-2.
I think I've got a little bit of volume from another stream at the moment, dude. I'm just trying to get that out, and then good to go. How's that? Yeah, we're good. All good.
All right.
Wow. So I was just trying to see the stream myself, just in case we were struggling. But obviously, then you confirm that Dan's got it. So
okay, so Dan bans. Dan ban a cup.
Okay, so we'll wait for him to ban and get that confirmed. Then we will go to... Is this the first tiebreaker that we've done in the tournament?
Well, it's the third match of the tournament. Yes. The other two have been 3-0s.
Ah, they have, yeah. So, I mean, I was thinking of the demos as well, or anything, other formats that we've done. So, yeah.
Okay, Dan Banstar. Dan wants it to be a tie. I think he wants it to be a tie just so this goes on for longer.
Fair enough.
All right. So, Guillermo has to now pick a cup.
Yeah.
That is not Star Cup.
He picks a cup that's not Star Cup.
We'll see what the tiebreaker... All right, the tiebreaker is going to be on Flower again.
Flower?
Yes. He's picking Flower again. I mean, it makes a lot of
No.
sense. He doesn't want to repick Special. And Mushroom is, I would say, more volatile than Flower.
You think Mushroom's more volatile than Flower? Really? What, because of the Mario Circuit 2 LBs?
I would like to confirm to the person asking in chat that there are, in fact, no tie rules. I did not come up with any when making the rules for this tournament.
No.
If necessary, we'll time down to the frame. And if it's the same frames, we'll go by in-game time. All right, they're both ready, so I'm going to do the countdown.
Okay. Happy days. Yeah, they've charged their cups. This is the last one to go.
Twitch delayed my go.
Oh, right, okay, never mind. Well, we'll get another ribbing from that when we look at it later. That's fine. Don't worry about it. So we're just waiting for this little buffer time before the start. When they get the message, they see it, they go, and they put the time on.
Yeah. Good.
Commentary. Come on, here we go.
Yeah. So just the tie rule will be if it's deemed too close to call, we'll just go by in-game time.
Yep. Oh, and they've gone. Wow, straight at the same time, frame for frame.
Yeah. So in this case, the difference was deemed sufficiently clear that
yes,
Dan wins the cup. Just that's it. But had it been like really close, too close to call, we'd go by in-game time.
Yep. Right, both on the Zoom starts on here, so we'll see what items that come out of this. And the wall hop strat, as you've mentioned there, rather than the old school strat this time.
Yeah. So we get to see once again from get to compare from the start of the match.
Yep. Ventus swapping good sight lines on here. I think he's pulling out maybe second half advantage, something like that. So there's no items to pull ahead, but he is doing the wall hop, which is very brave at this stage. Ooh, hit on the ground there. Slow down. This could be really interesting now.
Yeah, could be tricky.
Level pegging. I think Dan's got the speed now. I think he's just pulled. No, he's got a hit.
No, he got stopped.
Around the corner. Okay, so Rantis is a second ahead. Well, no, he's hit the turf.
No.
Oh no! Oh wow, it's toing and throwing in the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I think the wall hop. No, he's lost it.
No. It's a good call from.
Oh wow!
Wall hop there. Yes.
Boost finish. Boost finish ahead. This is like a cup. It's almost like a cup per race now, isn't it? Because we're seeing the final tiebreaker to toing and throwing on what strategies they're trying to do.
Yeah. So it's a 2-second lead for Firewaster.
Indeed. Okay. Here we go, people. 2 seconds behind. Still on the zooms. Oh, the Rantis is timed out, and Dan's ahead. That's put Dan ahead.
Yes.
Dan's back ahead.
Yeah. So not only push-ups for Firewaster, but that cost him the lead.
This is like the tension's excruciating. It's just so. That's just 400ths of a second timing difference to the start to get that boost, and all of a sudden it's changed the flow of the game. It's absolutely insane. The
start boost is a 4-frame window, which seems like a lot when you compare to 1-frame tricks and such, but you have to do it at the start of every race. So, and it makes a huge impact.
Dan's on the hit.
Yeah.
Dan's on the hit.
Stopped by DK.
Game's getting
back
pace.
to even.
Game's
even.
Yeah, game's ahead. Game's ahead. Half a second.
Just a little bit. He had more speed.
I wonder what they're going to do in the next
few races. I think Dan's GV2 might be faster.
Yeah.
Slightly faster, yeah. He regained 4/10, 2 seconds.
So in-game time. I'm trying to look at the timer differences now. It looks spot on. Okay, so we're going on in-game timer now, yeah? Half a second difference?
It's just an indication. RTA is what really matters.
RTA, sorry, yeah. Okay. Who knows? I have no idea.
This is close. Maybe we'll get to see some mushrooms this time. Moses shrooms in the tiebreaker?
That would be insane. First videoing of those in many years just happening in live in a tiebreaker tournament. Moses shrooms being the ability to walk on water, yeah? That's what we're saying.
It's the Donut Plains wall bounces, or wall hops with the water
bounces.
Walking
on water. That's the one. Walking on water. They're both nervous.
Yeah.
They are. They're feeling it.
Dan lost some speed.
Just going for what lines?
Yeah, Dan's slowing down at the exit of the chicane. It's a very tricky section of the track.
Ventus is pushing ahead with those little boosts. This is a really well paired match.
Yeah, this section right here. Yep. Yeah.
Slalom's done. Got the boost.
This it doesn't really seem like it because they're driving, but the section of the track after the lake here is it's very awkward, especially in NTSC Grand Prix because the cart wants to swing wide and into the garage, so you have to kind of swerve it back onto the track. Yeah, okay, that's very convincing.
I think some of the You know, we talked about ceiling and floor, so getting the floor up, not crashing. That I think they were absolutely solid, really solid in that race. But Guillaume's ceiling is what made the difference there. It's those last few boosts, the last corner boost, the releasing. He just gained the ground over that track, I think. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just that little bit of margins. There's a few extra boosts. We'd have seen it live there, and that, how it makes that difference.
And that reflects the fact that Firewaster is a much stronger time trial player.
Yes, this is showing his aggression of the highest level skills, the ceiling of the game. Dan's got a really solid floor baseline consistency, which many people would be really, really happy to have that level in tournaments and formats. Certainly at CDM, it's solid, it's good. But Guillaume's just got a few strokes of genius there. Yeah.
I'm very happy that this match happened in the bracket because it's very much it's a huge clash of style.
Styles make fights. Yeah.
And also trajectories in the game, because Dan more or less came out of retirement, a real one, for this tournament, whereas Guillermo has been actively grinding the game quite a bit. Dan going for the safe feather, but lands on the wall on landing.
Yeah, but Dan doesn't look rusty. He just looks rock solid. He's just
he's solid.
Thing. Yeah,
I do think he's been practicing a little bit, but still, even so.
Yeah. It is funny though, like when you go to CDM, you see people's personalities and their driving styles come out a little bit, don't you? The way they boost, the consistency, the nerves, the jitters, how he might move over the top.
Poison shroom.
Oh wow!
Oh, this changes everything.
Oh
no!
This is tragedy.
This could be it. This could be the match deciding moment. The fact that he hit that mini shroom.
No, he's ahead. He's ahead.
Yeah.
Not
yet. Dan's struggling.
It's all on the race.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. It's close.
No.
It's so close.
It's just insane.
It's so close going into MC3.
It's like Neo and Carl all over again, isn't it?
Yes, throwbacks to AGDQ.
Yeah.
Holy. And I mean, this on paper, this was also going to be the closest match, because in the All Cup seeding run that we all did for this tournament, these two finished within 2 seconds of each other.
Yep, this is it. The lights are on. Will they get the boosts? I almost got a boost on around the corner.
As they say, final round.
Final round, last cup, and Dan isn't going for the boost there. Wow, that surprises me.
Nah, he's playing it safe. MC3 is tricky.
Fair enough, okay. They're using really different lines, isn't it? It's really interesting clash of styles. Okay, so they are frame for frame. I can't time this. What is going on?
It looks like they really...
Dan's done the hit! Oh no!
Messed up.
Is that the move?
That's such a terrible crash.
That's like CDM moment where you just see that one last moment in the tiebreakers, in the barrages, in the Zarkov barrage. Bang. That's the difference.
It's huge nerves. That's the type of crash.
Can GM hold it? Yeah.
Tight situation, tight spot. All right, we'll see. We'll see that the potential for the reversal comes now when Guillermo approaches the CPUs. He needs to navigate them, and there's a high potential. Dan loses more speed. Yeah,
a bit of dirt. That's it. I think it's a few heart flutters, bit rust, and that's it. That's how tight it is in this game.
There's one more lap.
Last lap. Yeah. It's only a couple of seconds though. For one crash. Oh, he slowed down.
Yeah, he missed his boost. He hopped out of it too early. Nerves
again. It's like what?
It's not enough. It's not enough for Dan to come back.
And GM's got it. Oh wow! What a clash!
Congratulations to Guillermo.
Congratulations and commiserations, Dan. That was outstanding effort. Sterling effort.
That was a fantastic match. Yes, thank you to both players for an amazing performance.
Yeah. Wow. That will live on in the community memory, indeed.
Fantastic match. And keep in mind, this is the first round of the tournament. I know it says winners round 2, because technically it is, but both these players got by, so this is their first match in the tournament.
Yeah.
Dan and Guillermo, yes, you can definitely join for an interview. That would be fantastic. I think it's worth pushing back our schedule a little bit because we have 2 more hours of SMK after this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if I can get the runners in for an interview because I think for this match it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely. See what you can do. See if you can get them in the stream. Get them into the commentary. Wow, this is awesome, people. There's a guy from Borough in the chat who wants to know where I am from. I am from Stoke-on-Trent originally, but live in Leeds. Zarkov, if there's any messages from the Twitch in the meantime, because I'm on mobile, if anyone's got any questions, queries, anything for the participants, just drop me a line on the WhatsApp and I can vocalize or ask it if they want to. How's Lafungo doing?
I'm waiting for crew to get back to me. Ah, okay. There's a
What was the chat like, by the way? I've not seen any of this chat at all.
Chat was excited. Chat was into it.
Right, good. I do like that about Twitch and the chat. It's almost like that stream of consciousness. People seeing it, people like this game, they're excited about it, they're chatting about it, and the tension builds up. I suppose I didn't see that. I think it's interesting commentating with you about it. I think now and again, whether like nerves, huge jitters, is that because of what you were seeing in the chat at the same time?
A little bit.
I'll have to jump into the next one.
I was responding to some stuff in.
Right. Okay. I think that might affect it next time round. Then, if we do, I mean, I'd love to do the commentary again with you at some point in some other match. That would be great, and try the chat, see if we can both respond to it there and other bits and pieces for it. But yeah, that was good.
All right. So the runners should have received an invite but.
Okay, so you've messaged them directly. See what people can do. But obviously, everyone's got the numbers, details. We can drop a line to them if they want to jump in the comment.
Okay,
in the commentary box.
Yeah, the invites were sent because, well, as it so happens, Dan is also doing for the next match, so he needs to get in here regardless. Fair
enough. Well, that's fair. I'll message the WhatsApp.
Yeah. So I see Dan should be joining us shortly. I don't know if Guillermo is available or not.
What a game.
Okay. Firewaster is going to the Portuguese street. So here.
Okay. Well, that's fair. To be fair, that would have lit up Brazil.
Yes, I'm sure they were very excited about that one.
Oh yeah, that was fireworks. He is a flamboyant, talented player, and it's all or nothing. Imagine Aaron versus Maul is going to be amazing, isn't it?
Hold on. He's joined us. Mr. Double Underscore, welcome. Is this mic working? Maybe not.
Okay. You can always chat to us. We can always write a couple of messages, and if it doesn't work, obviously just get him into there. We might need a super substitute for commentary otherwise. But hopefully his microphone works.
I'll be also doing commentary for the next match.
I do the next one. Very good.
Yeah, should be joining Dan. Assuming he can get his mic working. Sorry, Dan. You might be talking to the void because we can't hear you.
So what's happening in the meantime then? Are we doing anything to help convert the next players on, or is that's all happening in the background? SG are doing that, and then got the rest.
Yeah. It seems that Dan's having some technical difficulties.
Okay, no worries. Well, the show must go on, so I'm sure we can do something. Well, what would we have said? So let's, for posterity, if Dan was here right now, what would we be saying to him? Pretty awesome race, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, Dan likes to call races meh. I'd like to know if he really thinks that this one was meh. So, definitely think it's deserving of more than that.
Yes, indeed. It was the very last maneuvers, little mistakes, things on the last few laps. And that was it.
He says his driving was meh.
All right.
But the entertainment was certainly not.
Yes, the entertainment. It was hugely entertaining.
Were there any tracks you were particularly happy with?
Well, let's see what he thinks. I think otherwise...
Actually, a question I would definitely want to ask. Oh, he was happy with both of his whale shark, aka BC2, as well as GB3 and Rainbow Road. Yes, well, that Rainbow Road... Well, actually, both GB3 and Rainbow Road were in pieces in the comeback.
Yes.
Special Cup.
Yep, they pulled them. Yep.
After a very rough DP3 and especially KB2.
I mean, yeah, you think about it on those races there. The DP3 at the start of the KB2, he did really well to pull the rest of that cut back there to bring the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and yes, BC3 was quite entertaining, but not for the same reason as the rest of the match. Actually, speaking of which, Dan, did you know or were you aware of how Guillermo was doing throughout the match, especially during that BC3?
Yeah.
Because you quit out at the end of BC3, and we were wondering if you had any idea how well or how poorly Guillermo was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Dan says he was watching somewhat.
Watching a little bit, yeah. There might be an extra skill we need in the future as players, I think, is to be able to have the stream in there, just see how it's evolving, just see how it's going, or just having that idea of what's going on with the second stream and just adjusting what you need to, because it was so razor thin. It was really thin. So you need to know, do you push that a little bit more or not?
Dan says that he had no clue how Guillermo was doing on BC3.
Yeah.
And all he knew or all he knows is that Guillermo ranked in and that Dan sucked royally. But it's definitely worth a rewatch because Guillermo
you
also
watch it,
had a huge struggle.
Yeah, that was we think Mole's got lightning struggles and tortures at times, or we think that only people can. It was epic. He was having to nurse back over and over again, having 0 coins coming back round, the lava flows. It was, you just got to fight. You've got to compete, I think, yeah. Don't give up.
All right, so unless, Chris, you have any specific questions you still want to ask Dan, I think we're going to try to set up for the next match.
Okay. So has Dan got a place now in the other half of the tournament bracket?
Yeah, so he's going to be in the lower bracket.
In the lower bracket, right?
Yeah,
well,
Dan's going to head out because he needs to figure out his. Hopefully, still commentate the next match. So
cool. Let him do that.
See you in a bit, hopefully.
Yeah, no worries. Well, he's very strong performance from himself though in that lower bracket, that other tier that we'll get on stream. That was a pretty good. It's just still a really good performance.
Absolutely. So just to talk about the bracket a little bit, Firewaster's win means that he will move on to face what will, in almost all certainty, be KVD, who's the #1 seed for the tournament.
Yes.
And then
Darth Vader himself.
Yes, that'll be a tough.
I've called you out, Carol.
Not that he's watching currently, I don't think.
Wow. Yeah.
And then in the losers bracket, so Dan is in the losers bracket, and he will be facing the loser of KVD's match. So it's going to be against KVD has a bye this week because he's waiting on the only winners round 1 match. Which is Hatok. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your tag, and Flanders, who are both 2 SMK newcomers.
Yeah.
So whoever wins that match will most likely end up losing to KVD and losing to Dan rather quickly.
Yes. But if that was his final, that was Guillermo's final. Who knows what happens in going against Carol, but Guillermo should be absolutely delighted with that one. But then so should Dan as well, to being in the low. Even if he's in the lower bracket, there's still a lot of good fun, good action to be shown in this tournament that he can do from there. So, yeah, I'm very pleased that he's come out of retirement to to play and share that to the world. Right, how are we doing now?
Yeah, so I think what's going to happen is
What's up?
Dan, we hear you.
Hey!
How's my levels?
You sound fine.
All right. Well, let's. If there's any sort of invite for the next round.
Yeah, so I think
need to watch
what I'm
on
gonna
pause.
I'm just gonna mark this this match as being over, and it's gonna kick us all out of the audio, the commentary.
Yeah.
And then Dan and I will rejoin briefly.
Yeah, sounds good.
So Chris, if you want to sign off, because you're the only one of us three who will not be back for the next match.
Sure. Take care, people. Thanks again. Pleasure. Commentate. Thanks again, Lafungo and Dan, for partaking. And look forward to doing it again sometime soon. And good luck commentating for the next game.
Yes,
Thank you,
good luck
Chris.
to us.
Cheers, guys.
Yes.